What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. So today's video is going to be about the last of the Rev3 Mark II. How many numbers can I put behind the name of a lightsaber? This is the last Rev I will ever do. Last Rev3. Maybe there'll be another iteration of this, but I'm really trying to concentrate on the NullRev line of speeder hilts that I'm doing. I really like the design of those. So first off, right, I'm just going to get this out of the way. This install and build took far longer than I would have liked. I say this time and time again, and I need to reiterate how grateful I am to people who are patient. This hilt was purchased. It was actually, it wasn't a deposit. This was actually fully purchased a while ago. And there goes my lights. So this hilt was purchased, fully purchased. It wasn't a deposit. It was purchased a while ago, months ago. I don't typically like taking longer than the time that is estimated on my listings for my shop. However, unfortunately with this one, there was a lot of stuff that happened, right? So the machinist that I get these parts from closed shop for a little while, and then they stopped taking custom orders for a little while. These do take a little bit longer than my usual builds. And then, other stuff happened, like vacations and everything. I mean, all of those are excuses, right? So I don't ever like taking longer than what is advertised on my site. So I just want to the person who purchased this hilt, I just want to say thank you for your patience. This took far longer than I would have liked it to be done, right? So, but it is done. As I mentioned, I'm retiring this particular hilt design. There's just a lot of stuff that goes into this hilt. And because I'm no longer going to be able to get these grips with these routed holes in them. Like I mentioned, they just take a lot of time to build and to source parts for, like these buckles. These buckles down here are from 1970s era ski boots. So it's hard to find those now. So I'm just going to go ahead and retire the design, right? But not before I got this one out for this person that purchased it. So anyhow, I'm not going to come into fusion. This is a very simple chassis. It is a crystal reveal chassis. I wanted to have a crystal reveal for this particular build when I initially designed it, because I wanted to take advantage of those windows that are in the grip, right? So, but it's a very simple chassis setup. But I do want to come up top, talk about how to use it, right? Because there are some intricacies with where the kill switch is placed. And I do want to talk about the install a little bit, obviously. And then we will talk about what goes into this hilt as far as build is concerned. And then we'll put a blade in it and we will be on our way, right? So quick video. Let's come up top. All right. So here it is, the last of the Rev3 Mark IIs. That's a little dramatic. Anyway, so listen, I was really proud of this design when I initially done it. This is like a 2-year-old speeder hilt design, right? Super unique with this giant buckle down here. This is completely ridiculous, by the way. Like, I'm fully aware of how ridiculous this looks. But yeah, ski boot buckle down here. I have added, let's get down to this camera. I've added a plate. This is a real brass plate that says Tierfon. Each one of these builds has been a little bit different, as with most of my hand-built hilts. But for the most part, they're the same basic core of the hilt, right? We do have a pommel down here that has been, or pommel cap. This is from a hard drive spindle. This has been heat stained. All right. The grip down here, this grip was done by the Custom Saber shop. That is where I used to get these parts from. But unfortunately, the Custom Saber shop is no longer doing like custom machined orders. Okay. So, but I did design this grip, and the guys from the Custom Saber shop make it for me, right? So there are routed holes in this grip to show off that crystal chamber on the inside. The claw is also a custom designed claw by me that was also done by the Custom Saber shop, right? So this is based on their claw mount design. It's essentially 2 claw mounts stacked, but I also have a routed hole in here for a 2020 NeoPixel strip. So underneath this lens, there is a 2020 strip that animates when the hilt is on. Okay. Around the other side, there is a brass momentary switch. This is actually a Phil Guinness switch, excuse me. Phil from Calminian Customs, that's what this switch is from. Steel baffling around the emitter here. This has been heat stained, and then just some like copper rods and brass rods and plates rather that have all been heat stained. This switch is a custom switch. This is a rotary switch that I designed a custom cap for, right? And that serves as your main. So turning the switch on with the flick of this. Oops. There is that 2020 NeoPixel strip. That lens that is in front of that does say Tierfon. It's a resin lens that is just in front of that 2020 strip. Okay? There's that crystal, right? So let's take a look at the chassis really quick. The speaker is in a speaker pod that resides in this pommel. Okay, so there's a 28 millimeter speaker in this pommel that just lives there. Okay, that can just stay in the pommel. And then if you want to turn your hilt on, so there's a kill switch down here, right? So you don't really need to take the whole grip off to turn the hilt on. Just take the pommel off and hit that kill switch. Okay. I think I turned it off. There we go. All right, but let's take a look at this chassis really quick. Here is that chassis. I already had a battery in this. There's a quartz point up top here and a Proffie V3 at the bottom, right? Super, super thin chassis. This is another reason I'm going to be retiring, or I'm choosing to retire this build, right? This is an MHS V2 grip. So, I mean, we're looking at an inch, just over a hair over an inch internal diameter. I never like stacking a board and battery in a 1-inch chassis, just because it's just so thin, right? There's just not a lot of room for wire management or anything like that. So that's another reason why I'm retiring this design. I just feel like it's time, right? So anyhow, battery is in there already. I think this is already on as well. Put my pommel on. All right, let's come down to the bottom. Okay, so there's that brass plate in the pommel. 2020 strip in the claw. See if I can get this with one hand here. Let's try and get it on camera. There we go. It is a great feeling hilt. I'm going to be sad to see it go. All right. So anyhow, let's put a blade in it. All right. So this is a 1-inch blade holder. Just rest your blade on those PCB pins. There is a set screw inside of this baffling that will serve as your blade retention, right? So tighten that set screw. And you are ready to go. Man, it really is a great feeling hilt. That MHS V2 grip. There's that crystal reveal. Seriously, Bob, put it on. One more. So there's that toggle switch. I can never hit it with one hand. There we go. One more.
I am no Jedi.
So that's it. That's the Rev3 Mark II. I almost forgot the name of my own hilt. Rev3 Mark II, the last of the Rev 3. So anyhow, again, if I could reiterate to the person who purchased this, I really appreciate your patience. I will be getting this in the mail this week. Thank you very much again for your support and your patience. If anyone has any questions about this hilt or, the chassis, which I didn't show, please don't be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.